about the topic of real estate. My name is Eric Willner. I am your host. I am your host here now going on 22 years. 22 years of uninterrupted, nonstop broadcasts here on the Real Estate Show, through good times, through bad times, through pandemics and crazy elections. You know, our mission here on the Real Estate Show is to empower more Americans to get a piece of the American dream, and that is real estate, to own a piece of real estate. So if owning real estate is on your mind, if you own real estate or want to own real estate, if those are either one of your situations, then you're in the right place at the right time. Well, so welcome to another edition of the Real Estate Show. We are live Monday through Friday right here, wherever you're listening to us now, whether it be on our live YouTube channel, our live Facebook channel, whether it be on our local AM 1470, that's Money Talk Radio, for those of you that know Money Talk Radio in South Florida. Also on 95.3 on the FM dial, also FM 96.9 and 103.9. So a literal plethora of radio stations here in South Florida. And all of those you can also find if you go onto one of the apps, the free apps that you put on your phone, your tablet, your whatever smart device that you have. You can download the iHeartRadio app, probably the most common one, the TuneIn app, or even the Spreaker app, just to name a few. Now, I remind you, we're also live filming this on talk about stimulus as we round out the year. I want to remind you that we are now in round 12 of a 12-round 2020. And for those of you who feel a little bit beat up during the first several rounds, actually, you should have had two good rounds, January, February. Then March 11th, we had the pandemic. March 11th, the World Health Organization declared it a worldwide pandemic. And just as we thought we were starting to open things back up, just as we thought things were getting better, it kind of sucks the whole world back into it again, as the winter flu season and a number of other factors that seem to be bringing us back into escalating numbers, a lot more cases testing positive, a lot more testing, of course. And fortunately, what I will say in the analysis of that is that the death toll percentage, now deaths are going up again, and that's a sad thing, but the percentage of people testing positive that have a fatal outcome has actually been dropping. So that's a tribute to our medical profession. That's a tribute to, I think also, better care, better education, better knowledge, and hopefully pretty soon for some folks, the vaccine as well. So that also means that Congress has another incentive to come back and talk stimulus again. So we're supposed to hear some updates today. Haven't seen those yet, so I will definitely study up on that and bring that to you on our show tomorrow. On our Tuesdays, Tools, Tips, and Techniques, we'll bring you a little bit of news in there so that we can talk a little bit about the stimulus and how that may or may not affect. I was looking at some information earlier today from one of the lenders that I work with, and they were talking about the extensions, and about 80% of the loans in forbearance received an automatic extension. Some to December 31st. We already know we were there. Many more to January 31st. Probably the majority, and some even a little bit further than that. So the bottom line is there's, I would say, temporary relief on the horizon for those that are on the brink of foreclosure, those people on the brink of eviction. What's up, buddy? And also the folks out there that just might need a little bit of extra time as they're trying to get back on their feet, and hopefully the new closings aren't going to do that. So also wanted to throw in a new daily thing, our quote of the day. Today I will do what others won't, so that tomorrow I can do what others can't. And that's in the vein of our conversation last week where we were talking about the self-assessment. We were talking about making a list of your 2020 accomplishments, making a list of your 2020 failures. Now, this was not about judgment. This was about a true and honest self-assessment. Then we talk about what our goals are for this coming year. And just wanted to remind you that we got 3 more days for you to the deadline for those starting. If you already started, good for you. Those of you who haven't started yet, I put a 21-day challenge, and the 21-day challenge is, and remember, I got prizes and gifts and some pretty valuable stuff riding on this offer. But those of you who can post 21 days that they saw the real estate show. Now you can post it either on our website at automaticlandlord.com. I prefer you go to our Facebook page. We're going to try to get them all together on the Facebook page, facebook.com/The Real Estate Show. And if you post 21 days in a row, you'll be eligible for some pretty valuable stuff. Look at last Monday's radio show to go into that detail. So every Monday, today included, we call it our Mondays on a Mission. And the reason that we call that's where we kind of set out the agenda, lay out the theme of the week, and sort of put anything else that we're going to be talking about, like we talked about the stimulus and so forth. And still in the vein of this is the 12th round of a 12-round 2020 battle that everybody is in. If you're ahead of the game, congratulations to you. If you're behind the game, or if you don't know, then you want to punch this last round through. Now, here's another little quote, maybe an extra quote. It's you dream forward, but you plan backwards. And that's what I was talking about when you do that full assessment and you kind of see where you are, and then you got to see where you want to be. Remember, the quickest way point A to point B is a straight line. But if you have no idea where A or B is, I guarantee you there will be no straight line. So as the host of the Real Estate Show, I want to try to give back as much as I can in this closing month of the year. We want to punch it through. I've talked about some of our big gains, personally. Lost 45 pounds. Our real estate has moved forward. The Real Estate Show has moved forward. We've grown extra stations. We've now moved to our live at 5 p.m. In addition to our 8 p.m. show, we have our 5 p.m. show, which is will be the new home, the new permanent home of the Real Estate Show, starting at 5 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday, on all those places that I told you. And if you're listening or watching, you're in the right place. Also the founder of the Evergreen Property Management Group. And we're going to talk more about property management, the automatic landlord, and some of the big goals that we have for 2021. 2021 has been nicknamed the Year of the Hand. And we're going to talk more about how it got that name. But 2021, the Year of the Hand, is your opportunity to make up for lost ground in 2020. And I think that it's going to present some opportunities, partially because of what's going to go on in the economy, partially what's going to go on with real estate in particular. And that's why, in addition to our 5 daily shows at 5 and our 5 daily shows at 8, we're going to see probably some other shows sporadically throughout the day and throughout the week. But more importantly, because of all the things that we want to accomplish, particularly now, between now and the end of the year. Now, remember, there's only 24 days from today, 24 days left. That's why I said the 21-day challenge deadline to starts in 3 more days. So with 24 days left of the year, we now, in addition, will be doing every single Monday night, tonight included, we have our Equity Accelerator Workshop. Now, this is a powerful, very powerful workshop where we're going to talk about how to accelerate building equity in your house without having to put extra money in. How do I accelerate? That means that you don't have to even have a job. If you have a mortgage and you're making your payments, whether you're self-employed, employed, retired, here's an opportunity for you to accelerate your equity. You want an invitation, a free invitation to that workshop, which is free for the listeners of the Real Estate Show. then type in the word equity on your smartphone to 561. You're going to write this down or just go ahead and plug it straight into your phone. 561-861-2366. That's 561-861-2366. Type in the word equity, and you're going to get an automatic response with an invitation for you to come to our workshop tonight at 9 p.m. Tuesday, tomorrow night, we have our credit accelerator. Now, this is amazing because I have been watching the effects, and it seems like they're punching it through the end of the year. Saw a text increasing my credit score. I'm talking to other clients who are seeing great results. If you need to fix your credit, if you need to improve your credit, if you need to create some credit, then you want to come to the the credit accelerator. So type in the word credit to the same number, 561-861-2366. And then on Thursday, our third workshop of the week, starting at 8 p.m., we will be having our big round table. A big round table is really a mastermind meeting where entrepreneurs from lots of different fields, entrepreneurs, business people of the real estate field will come on. We kind of share ideas, share strategies, and we're going to talk a little bit about some hacks that we'll be sharing every single week. There are going to be some money hacks in there for entrepreneurs, and especially with a flavor towards real estate. So those are some of the things that we got going there. I told you which one's that number. Just remember that number is 561-861-2366. Now, a couple of things. Well, actually, let's go ahead and take a quick break, hear a few words from our sponsors. Then we'll come back and talk a little bit about, if you are disappointed in 2020, this is what we want to talk to you about, what we're going to do, what we're going to offer you now that you can do. Again, all this stuff is free. This is not, all these heavily expenses from the in and out of town guy. This is right here, your local real estate expert on the Real Estate Show. You just want to follow along with us each and every day. Anyway, we're going to take a quick break. Don't touch that dial. We're not done yet today, so we'll be right back right after these words. So while we're on the break here, Maji Sumra, how are you? How do you like that? What else we got going on there? 561. I see some folks. I get texted on those, and I get a little reminder. Really cool stuff going on here, and that's why I hope that everybody is taking advantage of what we're doing here. I think it's some neat stuff. Hopefully you guys are in the holiday spirit, getting ready to take a little R&R, take a little family time, and hopefully everybody in your family is healthy. We've been having some discussions here at home. Michael, how are you? Good old friend from New York Life Days. How are you? And we are taking advantage of this time. Actually, we took a little bit of that extra time in advance of the holidays so that we could be a little bit more careful, a little bit more conservative during the holidays. Just only close, very close family. So, and discouraging anybody else from traveling at this point in time. So music's coming back, and welcome back. For those of you just joining us, you are listening to The Real Estate Show, South Florida's #1 program about real estate, America's longest running daily radio show, all about the topic of real estate, and trying to help all of our landlords out there. Interesting conversation that I had today with another one of our close advisors is this whole concept of the eviction moratorium. And there was an article that I was reading, as I mentioned in the first part of the show, that 80% of these forbearance agreements have been extended again at least until January 31st, And we'll see after the expected inauguration day in mid-January, mid-late January, then we'll start seeing what the policies, and perhaps maybe even we'll hear something before. But right now we're largely in a holding pattern, which is why we talked last week about the slowing down of the pending home sales index, showing that folks are coming to the end of the year with a big wait and see. First, it was wait and see who's going to be the next president. Now it's wait and see what's going to be the next policy, and wait and see what's going to be in terms of the extensions, the moratoriums on foreclosures, forbearance, and evictions. But here's an important thing, and I read a lot of articles on these extensions to try to get a good feel for where they're going. Very important, obviously, from where I sit right here. And one of the things that I hear the government talking about, what a burden it is on the government agencies like Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, Ginnie Mae, and all that other stuff. But they never in any one of the articles mention the harm that it's doing to small landlords like you and I. Something that I've talked about many times in the past, and I'll repeat it again right now because it's that important. I want to get that message out to whoever would possibly listen, is that when a tenant does not pay for 3 months, at that point, they're not going to pay the back rent. And for as long as they can stay not paying rent, that's free to the tenant. Now, I'm not encouraging tenants out there to do this, but this is just statistically what always happens. Why? Because it's cheaper to put first, last, and security, 3 months, down on a new place and move than it is to pay back all of those back payments. So with very few exceptions have I ever seen a tenant make up once they get past 3 months. Then it's clearly, eviction time. And now think about this. If the moratorium went into effect last August or July, so you've got July, August, September, October, November, December, now January, we're talking about 7 months. We're 4 months past that no-go back. Now, bad news for the mortgage holders, the landlords, is that with the forbearance, they may not be losing their house yet because of the lack of payment, but they signed a contract and gave collateral, the property as collateral. So the banks are okay. They're going to carry the interest. They're going to wait for their payments, but they're going to get their payments, or they're going to get properties in obviously recently appreciated real estate market. And so they're in a good place. The landlord is now caught between a rock and a terrible place, because they now, not only do they have to pay back the payments that they couldn't make due to lack of rental income, but they're not going to get the back rental income because they're probably going to have to spend extra money to evict those people. And then they're going to have to repair the place. They're going to have to re-rent, remarket. And so this is going to be very difficult for particularly landlords that got stuck with tenants that aren't paying. Now, last week I talked to you about a situation where our management company handled it, found a way to evict in spite of the pandemic. Now, here's my approach. Number one, stay in communication with your tenants. If they are willing to stay in communication with you, work with them to the best that you can in and under reasonable conditions. Number two, set up a payment plan with keeping in communication so that you keep the tenants engaged and hopefully engaged in a long-term, profitable and positive relationship for both sides. That not working, if you don't get communication from your tenants, let me just tell you, you must be fair but firm. Fair but firm. And that means that you probably need to get rid of. And like I said, where we have seen tenants that are not adversely affected, they didn't lose income, they didn't lose employment, they didn't get the disease, and even if they got it and they're back and they're able to work again, remember, we're all in this together. This is a difficult situation, and that's why this is going to be very important to understand what the government's going to do. But I'm worried in the sense that everything that I'm reading and all of the stimulus, whether it be stimulus for unemployment, whether it be stimulus, I hope that the government understands that if they do decide to offer stimulus for rent money, that money should go straight to the landlord and not to the tenant who may or may not convey that money forward. I'm worried about that. I've already seen abuses in other ways, so that's also very important. Anyway, on a more positive note, as I mentioned, the real estate show has made a very positive mood to the 5 o'clock hour, in addition to the 8 o'clock hour daily. And I wanted to say, there are other areas that are also growing. So if you're in the technology area, e-commerce in particular, I've been seeing certain businesses that migrated very well to the e-commerce platform that were able to continue to market, whether it be Zoom sales calls, webinars, but any non-contact, socially distanced marketing that if you're able to do that. And interesting, a lot of businesses have made that transition, and e-commerce is up. You know what else is up is technology. You know what else is up is a lot of the medical and preventative medical equipment, supplies. The plexiglass. Think about that. All the masks, all the printing, and all of that stuff. It's been a boom for printers, if you think about it, between election year and all of the new regulations. But here's the thing that I want to kind of sort of wrap up with today's program and talk about this whole week. The question is, are you a thermometer or are you a thermostat? Big difference, right? Both of them, they measure the environment around them. But the thermometer, all that does, it's a spectator. The thermometer, it just tells you the temperature, doesn't do a darn thing about it. A thermostat, on the other hand, surveys the environment, tells you the temperature, and then does something about it. If it starts to get too hot, it'll cool things down. Starts to get too cool, it's going to heat things up. And for 2020, the year of the hand, are you going to be a thermometer, a spectator, just a passive standby person? Remember, we're not going to come out of this pandemic on January 1st. So you better start to be making those plans, and more importantly, taking the right measures and actions to be the thermostat. We're going to talk more about that all the entire week. We're going to talk to you about how to be the thermostat and how we're going to help you with that, whether it be on the credit side, whether it be on building the equity side. Remember those two words, equity. If you want to attend our Equity Accelerator workshop tonight at 9 p.m., just text equity to 561-861-2366. If you want help, advice, and possibly even to win a free credit repair for 1 year, 561-861-2366. Text the word credit for our credit workshop, our Credit Accelerator workshop. Remember, 24 more days. Tomorrow will be 23. We'll see you there tomorrow. Same place, same time, right here on The Real Estate Show. Until then, drive safe, wash those hands, and make it a great day. Bye-bye. Thank you, my friend. Go ahead and play this at 8, please. Thanks. Michael, how you doing? You still up there in North Carolina? Let me go ahead and wrap up. And Brian, I know you're my faithful man over there. Take care. I'm going to wrap up down the YouTube channel and then go to our Facebook channel. But appreciate that. Love the thumbs up and the love. Thank you there.